KSRA News, Traffic, and Weather on the Nines. This is Les Driver, the Triple Team Chopper for your ride home. Looking southbound on Main Street Freeway, you've got a speed limit ride all the way to Andretti Boulevard, where you've got brake lights and an accident off to the right causing minor delays all the way to 3rd Street. Candy Crash?
Candy Crash here, looking at your downtown ride, and it's all fine through 4th Street, but there's a big pile up at the Midtown exit ramp. There's loads of spectator delay while emergency crews untangle an overturned car in the center lane. There's a car fire on the right shoulder at 6th and Hill Streets, and fire trucks are on the scene to put out the blaze. Take the WeatherTech Bridge as an alternate route. Monica?
Monica Santa Monica here, and it's bumper to bumper all the way up the Ray Hall Freeway due to pedestrian incident at Corkscrew Court. Ambulances are on the scene, and it may be a while before the road is cleared. People who live in infield estates can expect a long drive home. The northbound traffic at the Rainy Street exit has heavier than usual volume for your ride home. You may want to leave a little early. Les?
Hovering over Interstate 10, traffic is backed up for miles for fans arriving early for the big GT3 race this evening. I would avoid the west side entirely as the race is a sellout. Once you get past the off-ramp before 11th, it's a smooth ride all the way home. Triple Team Traffic is sponsored by Track Racer and Go Setups. Track Racer and Go, a great combination when you want to get comfortable and go fast. Back to our KSRA news studio for more news and weather.
Welcome back to the beginning of another Sim Racing Alliance season. It's been a long break, and we're back.
It's been quite a long break, and I think you, me, and everybody involved with tonight's action is super excited to get going.
So they got a straight fight the rest of the night. He's going to have to make a move. That's a Punterino.
Serious pressure from Boostra. Trying to switch on the inside. Sweeney goes on the inside for the defense. Oh my goodness, right in between.
He's going to dive to the inside of both of them. They're going to go 3 wide corner. And we're off and away for SRA.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome welcome all to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca here. We are live with round 7, or is it round 8 at this point, of the Sim Racing Alliance season in Division 4. Fantastic circuit here. I'm here as always, Andrew. I've joined by Adam Santana and Diego Paul Fimbres Casas. Adam, how are we feeling? Legendary circuit here and a lot of talented drivers on the grid.
Man, D4 has been lighting up the timesheets all week. This track is challenging. I'm excited to see what they can do tonight.
So, hello guys.
Yeah, first time, Diego.
I finally decided to show up.
Yeah, welcome in. we're excited to have you. I mean, have you had a chance to follow the action through the season so far?
Well, I haven't watched D4. I'm not gonna lie. Please don't crucify me. But I watched some D1 and D1 and D2 races here and there.
D4 brings the ruckus.
They do. They do indeed, and of course, you know, we're taking a look here at the track overview, and I mean, let's just take a quick look at what we're going to expect here for tonight, of course. Looking down, there's a lot of challenging corners in this one, specifically, as everybody knows, Turn 8, the corkscrew here at Laguna Seca. It's going to surely be the cause for a lot of havoc, but of course, the fast-sweeping corners, turns 3 and 4, very challenging to get right. Turn 6, watch for cars to be going off there. If they hit that inside sausage curb, things are going to go wrong for them very, very quickly. Let's quickly roll on over now, and you can get a look at the maybe our pretty little mugs here. We'll take a look at the standings here in just a second. But yeah, Diego, welcome formally onto the broadcast. It's so nice to have you here at long last, and I don't know. Tell me how you're feeling coming into this one.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. This is actually not my first time commentating. I think I've done it before at some other league, and
It's your first time here.
well, it is my first time here.
this season, this stream with this team. You know, anyway.
But definitely, I mean, this is more. I want to say like higher level. This is more a little bit more professional compared to the one that I did. That I've done before, because I think it was an enduro race or something like that I did, and it was fun because it was just like, you know, I mean, trying out something different, and you know, and I mean, obviously, I mean, I don't want to say I want to drive right now, especially given the conditions. So I think I'd rather just commentate and watch.
That's for sure. I think we'd be remiss to not give Diego's bona fides, former D1 champion, SOR America driver, taking the season off. He's one of our finest in SRA.
Thank you. You don't have to do that, but thank you.
Yeah, speaking of endurance, of course, I mean, we talk a little bit about Bathurst. Let's roll over to the standings as we talk about this. But Bathurst, you guys did pretty well as well, so you got experience in many, many facets. We'll take a look here at the driver standings we got going on for D4. Of course, Diego probably thinking I could beat any of these guys, but to play fair to them, we have Mike Gino sitting on top here. Big stories, though, with Jess Osborne and Selena Boonstra making a lot of inroads in the past couple of races, as Mike did end up placing, I believe, P6 at Zolder after 3 consecutive wins prior, or excuse me, it was P4 at Zolder. Yep. Don't let me talk bad on him too much, but that kind of dwindling performance might allow some others to catch up. I mean, Noel Maxwell looked like he was solid in the lead there for a while, didn't quite make it happen. Austin Weitzcarver looks like they're back on the charge on the hot lap leaderboard, certainly putting up some solid times. And then even looking further back the field, names like Curtis Adams, Scott Fisher, putting in some very solid results in the past. Christian Lorenzo has also had some good looking pace. Robbie Toddy and Riley Barker also in the conversation. I mean, there's a load of talented drivers here.
Yeah, and of course, I think we, as every week, we reiterate Christian Lorenzo, currently the silver championship leader. I mean, he's mixing it up with the gold drivers.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Top 10. I mean, that's like no joke.
No, not at all. Yeah, let's take a look at the second page as well.
Yeah, still Waleed Sadat and Ian Demler. You saw a lot of these drivers very early on. Justin Sacombe is one other that I'm looking forward to seeing some of. I mean, even with being a bit of a backmarker in terms of the standings.
I think Justin might be done for the season. I think I may have seen some chat about that, but I might be wrong.
Well, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm actually only seeing 17 drivers in the server this evening, which is I would have to say, probably a record low turnout. I mean, that's less than half the field, just about.
We've been around at least 25, between 25 and 30 every race. So yeah, that's a bit surprising. It is the holidays, so people could be traveling and doing things. So yeah, let's look at the team standings.
Right now, it's big story Lunar Motorsports Comic Racing. I mean, they have had a legendary mid-season here, I would say. But I mean, also Lorenzo Fisher Motorsports, one that I want to discuss because, I mean, if you look at these second, third, and fourth positions, they are the ones who have been coming up more so from behind. Ghost Rider Racing, of course, being led by Mike Gino. Matt Harrell is also taking their place on the grid tonight, if I'm to be believed. Yes, I see him in the server right now. Austin Weitzcarver leading Red Eye Racing in second place, but it's all about Lunar Motorsports absolutely destroying the remainder of Division 4. And like I said, Jess Osborne and Selena Boonstra are both trying to make their way to the top of the driver's standings. Selena Boonstra, which I might add, has not picked up a win yet. But they are still so solid.
They went from our consistent team to our consistent podium team. They've been incredible the past few races. Along with Mike Gino, who had 3 in a row and then a P4 last week, very close to having 4 podiums on the bounce. And I mean, yeah, it's really tightening up the top.
I mean, it's looking, if they keep on the good performances, if they don't really battle any race, I mean, it's looking like it's is theirs to lose.
Almost a 200-point gap. I mean, yeah, they have a stranglehold right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe we have qualifying starting.
Does look to be the case, and of course, with the silver drivers going out first, we have actually very few cars actually on the tarmac right about now. It's only 6 in total, and as you mentioned, you know, the holidays are a busy time. You can't blame anybody for not making the time to get out here, and of course it's a very, very hot track. I think that's probably one of the last things people want to think about right now. But we're going to go across the line here with Jack Sullivan, who's actually had some pretty competitive looking times so far on the hot lap leaderboard, and I feel like one of the biggest issues for drivers coming into this qualifying session is more or less going to be the tire temperatures. Trying to keep them in the correct operating window. You can get the pressures to a fairly good spot, but keeping the tires cool is an incredibly difficult task here.
Yeah, just through my own practice, it seems like after your second flying lap, they're a bit too hot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wonder if we maybe see someone gamble and do 2 short runs here, especially with a smaller field tonight.
I think that's really a viable strategy, and especially given the combination of, 47-degree track that we have right now in quali. I think it's gonna be pretty much the same thing for the race. And then, I mean, Laguna's already notorious for having horrible tire wear, no matter at what temperature the track is. So, I mean, I think we may see some people taking, I wouldn't kind of like gamble, because I think it's a very viable strategy pitting in for tires, because if you do go for an hour on a single set, then you're going to be really suffering. Hell, I think like 20 minutes in, 25 minutes in, and maybe even like before that, given the conditions. So I think it's going to be interesting strategy-wise.
Seen the first times come across the line. Christian Lorenzo, who had a very competitive time the last go around, I believe qualified in second, even amongst the silver drivers being among the first group to go out at Zolder, a very cold Zolder, setting a 1:23.59 here. Certainly a solid banker lap, but I feel like there's a lot left on the table there.
Yeah, I think you have to start with such low pressures here that the first flying lap is not very representative of what these drivers will be doing. Yeah, I think we said the same thing as Zolder last week, and I think we saw a lot of drivers do their best lap on the first or second flying lap, but of course that was the inverse of what we have tonight. The temperatures were very cold.
Yeah, they're currently... the people here are currently racing on the surface of the sun.
It really is.
Like I said, I'm pretty glad... Oh, Christian Lorenzo almost was in it for the first crew. I'm pretty glad I'm not racing on this route, I'm gonna say that.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, Diego, in the last season of SRO, didn't you guys race here?
Yes.
Were they harsh conditions like this, or were they more mild?
No, they were, well, compared to this, it was pretty mild. But I think it was something like 28C, 30C tracks.
So yeah, that's reasonable.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, no, this is one of the high. I think this may be the highest temperature I've ever seen on track.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Myself, though.
Yeah, let me take a look here. It is 37 degrees ambient with a 47-degree track. So, zero kilometers an hour wind as well, so that's not going to be helping any.
No.
Let's just say I wouldn't want to be there in actual reality. That would be a pretty terrible experience.
Yeah, I think the hottest I've ever seen was like one of those meme races where all the aliens got together and did like a race where you have to drive on like one set of tires for like 2 hours, and it was like a 50
right?
track. I think it might have been.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like everyone was popping tires after like an hour.
Yeah.
So they had to go on the wets. Just it was crazy. So never in a normal race have I seen temperatures this high.
But even then, I don't think it was this hot. I mean, it was obviously about 40, but not 47C. For what I recall, though.
Yeah.
Looking back at the qualifying times, though, we're continuing to see them tumble a little bit. Lorenzo still has yet to make an improvement, and looks like they just invalidated the lap wherever they are. Felker yet to set a valid one, as I was just watching him go through the corkscrew, and I feel like right there has got to be one of the bigger spots, well, I guess Sector 2 for the whole, right? We talk about that fast left-hander leading up to the corkscrew. Of course, there's a lot of time to be saved there leading up the hill, but there's so much time that you could lose. I mean, especially in the race, you hit that inside sausage curve, like I mentioned, it's going to catapult you out to the outside of the circuit, into the sand, potentially even into the barrier if you're carrying a little bit too much speed. And Lorenzo, I think, just barely onto the sand. Gonna lose some time out of that. They're not looking to have improved. I mean, they set the 23.5.
Oh, this is not what we normally see from Lorenzo. He has to be coming back out again.
Yeah, he's getting refreshing tires. I think he wants to go on.
Vincent. I just about caught Felker. Yeah, let's. Yep, he is rolling.
That's completely understandable. Plus, you could take the lighter fuel load as well if you're planning on making 2 runs. So we might see the last lap here for Christian and Lorenzo. Ideally, for their sake, is going to be their proper qualifying lap. I'm not really seeing much more in the way of improvement from anybody else. Felker is, but with a benchmark of 124.2, I mean, Division 4, you expect to find improvement. They're through the corkscrew right now. Looks like they got a little bit more of the inside curve than the last go-around, and they are indeed improving down towards the final sector here. They're only up about a 10th, though, and losing a little bit of time through the left-hander, so it's not going to be a massive improvement, if any.
Yeah, and Sullivan had a big gain through 2, about a 10th, but then it dropped off. Wonder if maybe drifted out wide and caught a little bit of the sand. And I think that's something we quite didn't touch on with when we were talking about the track, but you mentioned the sausage curbs, Andrew, but the harsh on exit track limits with the sand on exit, it's very easy to dip a tire and spin, especially in turns 3 and 4.
This is definitely a really intense track because I mean, obviously out all tracks you have to use all of the track that's available to you, but this one, Laguna Seca specifically, I mean, it's a short track. I wouldn't say it's tight per se, but it's not really wide. So I mean, in that regard, I mean, you do have some space to work with, but even then, I mean, you have so little margin to error because, I mean, it's a short track, so any mistake you make, it's gonna really show on your lap time. And then, say if you catch one of the sausage curbs, he is gonna unsettle the car, and like you guys mentioned, it may send you to the sand, and it may send you to the wall. So it's definitely a really tough track to get time out of. I can attest to that because it was one of the qualifying tracks for SRA, and I did countless laps of this track, so I can really attest to that.
Lorenzo just dipped the right tires in the sand,
but it's invalid. I can see on the on-race control. That is one of the more frustrating parts about it as well. You were just mentioning, Diego, it's the track limits. You want to maximize wherever possible, especially their exit turn 6. You dip a wheel into the sand, and not only does that bring down your lap time, but as soon as you dip that wheel over, you're invalidated. And that means that Christian is going to end with this one last flying lap. I should note as well, one more. Took about, Christian did take a 2.5-minute out lap. Presumably near the end, kind of slowed down to let the tires cool back down into the preferred operating window. And there was a lot of time to save here in turn 1, almost a 10th for Lorenzo. So we'll see if they can capitalize this time. I'm seeing it move into the green, but on corner exit, just a little bit easier on the traction by the looks of things. And they are improving.
And Sullivan just got across the line right before the 10-minute mark, so they will get one more lap as well. But this will be Ron Flo's final lap. Up 0.3, tracking a little bit better. Not going to move up position, but a pretty decent chunk of time gained.
123.7. Again, for Division 4, probably not the craziest of times that we're going to see here in the qualifying. I am expecting at least one driver to break into the 28s, and
Lorenzo
well,
was Lorenzo's about 0.3 up and just drifted a little bit wide there again.
And also Jack wasn't, he screwed up his lap as well. He's back into it.
Yeah, Lorenzo's, that's, I think that's it for Lorenzo out. Into the pits. I think Christian's going to be really disappointed in that. So who's our lead driver out for the goals? I believe it's Mike Gino, our championship leader.
Championship leader, and check here, I believe, pole sitter for the last race. Not the race before, was in P2. Actually, Mike Gino, hang on, I'm looking at a couple of races ago. Mike Gino has not necessarily been the strongest qualifier. I feel like my memory is telling me that he has been, but apparently that's a bit of a lie. Qualified on pole for Zolder and failed to convert that into the race win. So going to be looking for a bit of a change of pace here.
Yeah, and if you remember when he started his streak at Suzuka, I'm pretty sure he qualified in the top 5, but I know he wasn't on pole. So I believe Austin Weiscarver was on pole for that race. So yeah, he's not necessarily the strongest qualifier in D4, but he's usually up there. But I mean, his race pace is just devastating.
The thing is, and this is really a Merc thing, the Merc has never been really good at Laguna Seca, and it has a reputation for having really bad tire wear. So I mean, maybe it is. Maybe he'll say, Diego, you're wrong. I'm going to win the race. But given the circumstances, I mean, Laguna Seca, high tire wear track, the Mercedes not being good on tire wear, and then 47-degree track, it's not looking good in that regard, mind you. So the people behind Mike, meaning Selena and Jess, I mean, they're in the Porsche, which is also notoriously bad.
Yep.
For tire wear.
So good cars for tire wear. Hang on,
yeah.
let's establish
well,
so,
if anyone knows Diego's history, him and the Porsche have a little bit of a love-hate relationship.
Love the 992. The 992, mind you. 991.2, I love the thing to that. The 992, we have a complicated relationship right now.
Wow, we're getting the first laps on the board here, and it is, let me just say, it's not really looking good for our gold drivers here. Gino with a 1:23.7 on the first go-around. Austin Weiscarver, 1:23.9. Was expecting some pace out of him. Boonstra and Osborne separated by about 500ths in the 1:24 flat range. But still, I mean, well, obviously there's going to be more laps to come. But as you mentioned, Adam, and what we've been talking about the whole time is tires do not like this tarmac for very long. So now coming on to the second flyer, I wonder if we're going to see big improvements. It looks like Osborne is up by quite a bit, so let's see if we can't get on board. You're already on board, Jess Osborne. Well done. You read my mind. Well done.
Do you want to bring up picture-in-picture for anyone? We can...
I'll bring up White
Yeah. I think we have to after he did a 22.7, I believe, in practice, which is
that's pretty good considering the conditions.
Yeah, I mean, before I did some practice today, my best time was a 22.9. So I mean, a 22.7 is incredible. Right. I think we have some of the SRA aliens dipping into the 21s, but not a lot of people.
Weiscarver just put on a big last corner there. I mean, in the BMW.
Yeah.
He's showing out in the big chungus.
Huge rotation out of that car. I would never. I don't know what kind of setup he's running, but that was insane.
There's Jess, and then Jess Osborne up to P5. Let's go to Riley Barker, who's finishing their lap.
And Weiscarver did tell me he wanted to show out since I was going to commentate today, so he's showing out.
Yep,
he
had the inside scoop. Sorry to keep you in the dark on that, Coach. I know you are enjoying Diego in the booth. I didn't want to tell you. I knew you'd be watching. I knew you'd love it.
Love you, Coach. Love you, long time.
He went crazy in the chat when you started talking.
Yeah, I see it.
Gino is up 4/10 right now. Get on board with that. I got Pat Cockcroft went off in the picture-in-picture, unfortunately.
Yeah, Gino's trimming up. Down a little bit, but still. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a good lap.
He did have a wide run through the downhill after the corkscrew, so getting some major improvement through there through the last corner. Really got to be heavy on the trail braking, and a very good lap, all things considered. And I think just about will be P2.
Less than a 10. Let's go to KB Smith.
Barker also improving. I'll get that on the PIP into the last sector, just out of the corkscrew.
Yeah, Barker's really up.
It can be very difficult to get the rotation out of the car in that downhill into T9 through T10 now, though, and still looking pretty solid. Going to be in the mid-23s by the looks of things. Again, that BMW very hard to rotate, missing the apex just slightly, and it's going to be slow on the power, but still going to be about a half-second improvement. Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, went really wide. Man, that was a really good lap. So let's check in on Scott Fisher, who's 3/10 up, but not going to be moving up too far.
It was an invalid lap.
Oh, it was an invalid lap.
It does seem like the goals are really struggling at the moment to set. Well, I mean, besides White Harbor and Gino, the rest of the goals are struggling to set a time.
This is going to provide an excellent opportunity for some of the silver drivers if they're able to hold on to their position. I mean, Sullivan in particular, like I said, that's a driver with some amazing pace on this track. I'm looking forward to that. I've got Curtis Adams, who's improving by about 4/10 right now, currently sitting at a 124.7, so not a massive improvement by that metric, but with probably 1 or 2 extra laps to go after this, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of... Wow!
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, yep, there he goes.
I would be
Certainly
going back
he's a
in
cool
for
down.
tires. Check out Robbie Toddy. We haven't talked about him yet today.
Surely not.
A couple tenths up, 3/10 up. I mean, at this point, 3/10 for Robbie Toddy, almost tracking to 4, is going to be quite a few positions.
I wasn't paying attention to Curtis Adams' time. They just jumped up to a 123.6. My God.
That's a good
I was
lap.
talking, that's almost a second plus of improvement. They must have really pumped the last couple of quarters.
Fantastic lap by Curtis.
Toddy up to P9.
That's good. That's very good. Let's go to Selena. We haven't checked in on Selena.
Fisher improved some. Cockcroft off the road again. Struggling to keep that Porsche under control. Barker improving. Up 2/10 right now, looking to move up a couple of positions here in the top 5.
Yeah, Selena dropped a little bit there, but getting some of it back into the corkscrew. Ooh, little bit of oversteer on the entry there. Lost all of that. Let's check in on KB Smith. 4/10 up.
4/10 would be a big improvement. I mean, we're talking about some massive movement for KB Smith. Keep your eyes on that. Coming into the final lap or 2 for every single driver.
Clean through the corkscrew.
Need to hit the apex on the inside here, get that power down. Looks like it wasn't quite optimal, but still a fairly good improvement if they can hold it together.
This is gonna move up into the top 5. Oh, broke a little too late.
Oh, yeah, that's corner.
It's so easy to do there.
Yeah, you always want to push that as hard as possible.
Yep, still moved up a couple positions though. Who's tracking well? Matt Harold. Matthew Harold. I don't know if he goes by that. Oh, just dipped into the gravel or the sand. I believe it's sand.
I think it's about time we stop watching the cars.
Yeah, we're
ironic as that may sound, we are really cursing them right about now.
I mean, we did the same thing last week too with the gold drivers. Every time we switched to a driver, we just man. I do have to say though, if you're checking on Curtis Adams, a 10.5 up. Oh, gained a lot under braking. Still around 2/10.
Will be their final lap as well.
Oh, goes too wide. That'll be that lap over.
Yep, into the pit wall.
I see just just crossed the finish line. P5. Let's.
Fisher improving by quite
Harold
a bit, actually.
Going across, moves up to P9. Yeah, I think this will be a big gain here.
Oh, beautiful apex there.
This is gonna be top 3, I think.
124 flat to a 123.5. Not even a 4.5. Goodness.
Goodness indeed. What a qualifying. That was, for 17 drivers, that was hectic.
Taking a look at the final. Oh, it's already been wiped from my screen. Hang on, let me check. I can still go to the qualifying best, surely.
Yes, you can.
I can't.
Oh,
it doesn't show the times. Oh, no. Well, either way, it was still very, very close. for a lot of those drivers. I mean, if we're talking about the 3rd to 7th positions, you know, less than 3-4 tenths of a difference. So I have to say I am severely impressed by what they were able to put on the table in terms of keeping the field close. But Austin White's car was starting on pole. This is exactly where he wants to be. Of course, it's where everybody wants to be, but specifically White's car, who's been having a bit of a rough season.
Yeah, he's had... I mean, last race was really unfortunate. He was pole at Suzuka and had an uncharacteristic race for him, so I think this could really be a makeup race for him.
And it's definitely, I mean, given the reputation of the Big Chungus DM4, I mean, he has the stability, so given the conditions, I mean, I'm gonna be going on about for the whole evening, but he definitely, if he doesn't make any mistakes, if he just keeps it safe and within the track, I mean, he should win the race.
Is this a new livery for us? I don't think I've seen that before. Know. That is very nice. I like that. Yeah, I have to agree. As someone who is in the Big Chungus this season, it's been treating me very well. My biggest issue is showing up, but the car, I mean, it's a phenomenal race car.
It's definitely, definitely, and given our experience at the Bathurst 12 hours of rain, I mean,
the Atlantis 12 hours.
Yeah, the Atlantis 12 hours. I think Australia, that area of Australia got rain for like the next 50 years. I mean, I mean, it was insane. But anyways, ignoring the rain for a minute. So I mean, the Big Chungus in that race, I mean, I think it was one of the best cars just in general because of its stability. So I think the BMWs tonight are gonna do pretty good.
Well, as we get underway here with the formation lap, we do want to give a quick, huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at the Sim Racing Alliance, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favorite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. I mean, going back to the conversation, though, you mentioned the Mercedes. You expect to be fairly, well, unfriendly, I guess is the PG term we could say, with the tires. But, you know, in my personal experience, you know, I have noticed the McLaren does start to suffer from front-end bite loss as you go further in races. And it can be a little bit challenging to get that car rotated, which is particularly problematic for a race course such as Laguna Seca, where you're trying to get it, you know, pointing in the right direction for exit on some of these high-speed corners as we come in towards the biggest one that I'm realistically thinking about is turn 5. It is so important to get that run up the back straight. If somebody gets a little bit of a run on you and tries to take that inside line, well, for one, it's not really a place that you want to be in to try to defend from, and for two, you're almost always going to have to concede if they're in front, because you are going to lose a lot more than just one position if you choose to fight it here through that fast left-hander leading up to the corkscrew, and no one wants to be in that position either. So I feel like that's going to be one of the bigger problems for me. You talk about stability in the BMW in particular, but if you simply can't get the front end of your car into some of these corners, you're going to be losing a lot of lap time.
Definitely, not only that, and you're obviously running the risk of, you know, getting off track, getting into the sand, and risking a big crash into the wall. So meeting Barry R, a good old friend, Barry R. So yeah, we'll see. It's funny because I don't have much experience in the McLaren, but I do know at the slow speed stuff, which this track does have some slow speed corners, it does kind of struggle. But we'll see how the McLaren's do.
Just gotta take a look here at what all we do actually have on the grid. It's 3 McLarens, 4 BMW M4s, and a lot of Mercedes. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mercedes, 3 Porsches. Not a whole lot of diversity in this field. We've got the one Lamborghini at least, but other than that, this seems like just a couple of classes all in the same field. So, a bit interesting in that regard.
Alrighty, we're almost going to start here.
Onto the main straight again, Mike Gino from P2 has not won a race from pole with Austin Whitescarver in the front, followed by Sullivan, Parker, Fisher, and Osborne as the lights go out here at WeatherTech Raceway. Laguna Seca roaring down in towards the Andretti hairpin. It's going to be a slightly defensive shape there from Austin Whitescarver. Goes out to the racing line, and it looks like it's going to be relatively clean all the way through the backfield. Some drivers trying to tuck down on the inside and potentially get a move done here. It looks like Osborne potentially getting a little bit impatient, trying to get up in the inside of the McLaren in towards turn 4. A nice little move done there for Osborne to move up 1.
Yeah, pretty clean start so far. Didn't seem much contact. It was pretty clean, not like our second restart of Bathurst, which which was quite the adventure, but pretty clean so far.
Yeah, it looks good. Immediate big mover with Selena Boonstra up 3 positions.
Yeah, I think what happened, and I was seeing, I think it was Fisher and Lorenzo, which were a little bit out of position at the start.
Yeah,
some reason.
Boonstra's POV at the race start if you want to get a look back on that.
Yep.
See what exactly went on there. So we follow the race leaders in through the corkscrew. Let's take a look here and see what exactly is that Selena did. Okay, exit Andretti. Up behind the 454 McLaren.
Oh, a little bump there.
Yeah, I'm surely capitalizing on that contact to get through 1.
Yeah, maybe got some others early on the into turn 1, but yeah, not too much else there. It looks like.
Saw a clean start for her, though. We saw some aggression out of Selena. In particular, she earned that reputation at Suzuka when she was a little bit impatient in the infield, or in the midfield, I should say. So keep an eye on that as she continues on with her race. Currently sitting in P12 for a podium finisher last race. I mean, that's not exactly where you want to be. As Jensen's defending here from Fisher, I believe that is. And I like the idea there from Fisher, but it's not in.
No, that would have been a very brave move to round that up around the outside.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to race, like, if you want to battle other people too much, because obviously, I mean, that means you're getting off the line, you're working the car more than you should be. So, I mean, it's hard though, because I mean, if you're planning on doing the on taking tires, I mean, you obviously want to move up, but at the same time, you don't want to, you know, really wear your tires and then risk the chance of, you know, getting into a big crash because of the work tires.
Early pitter with Matt Harold on the second lap. With a small field, I think that's in a short pit lane. It's probably maybe a good idea. Obviously not taking tires though.
Oh my goodness. Ground flow has gone around at the hairpin. I was on board with Boonstra a little bit ago, who had a nice overtake out of the last corner, capitalizing a mistake from KB Smith, I believe it was, but Flo, I think, breaking a little bit on the sand.
Yeah, I think a little bit of too much steering lock in there while braking as well.
Boonstra now 2 more positions into 10th place with about a second of a gap ahead, but already making some moves here. Very solid. Gino has been dropped a little bit by the race leader in Austin Whitescarver. With Barker not so far behind Gino. I wonder if it's going to be a similar story to Zolder, where Mike just simply could not hold on to the pace. But I do wonder about, you mentioned that early pit with Matt Harold. I'm wondering what exactly the plan is for him.
I mean, I guess, I'll go ahead, Adam.
No, you got it.
I guess, I mean, he's obviously gonna, well, maybe he had damage?
Lorenzo in the pits as well now.
I don't think we saw any contact. My assumption was to just get out of the traffic and just set clean laps.
Yeah, I guess that's just run his own race.
So
don't have to deal with people. I guess that's the strategy for tonight.
So his pit delta was 36 seconds, and that's about 8 seconds more than we would expect. So yeah, I think maybe some damage.
Right.
Because yeah, for tonight we should expect with 1 liter of fuel should be around 28 to 30 seconds.
Right. So looking at the field, Selena is battling with KB Smith at the moment. She dropped off a little bit from Adams in the Lambo, the 808 car.
Fisher still right up behind Jess Osborne. About now, Barker very close up.
Oh,
Gino.
that's gonna be a lost position. No. Did we? Lorenzo pitted as well because Lorenzo had been right behind Fisher, so we missed that. So yeah, Lorenzo and Harold have both done their mandatory pit stop.
It'll be interesting if it works out.
Lorenzo has demonstrated that they have strong pace, so if they just play in the clean air, not have to worry about anybody in front, that would be, I suspect, the most convenient outcome for them.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and Austin Whites-Carver with the fast lap of the race at 23.860, last lap at 23.832. Or no, best of 23.832. Yes, I did. The last was 23.860, so putting in consistent laps.
And he's pretty much dropping Gino now. He's just... I don't think Gino has anything on Whites-Carver at the moment.
Yeah, right now I feel like Whites-Carver has control of this race, but I mean, we're very early in, not even 10 minutes.
Yeah, not even 10 minutes.
I can't help but wonder right now, Osborne has had some pretty... Look, there's no other way to say it. Osborne's pace so far. Oh, Moonstruck! No, that's going to be contact on the inside on the corkscrew against Curtis Adams.
Oh.
And she'll get the move done. But that did not look so clean.
I think Curtis Adams lost at least one more, if not two more positions from that.
I'll take it back there. You can see, a little dive on the inside. I'm not so certain about that one.
That's a multi move to say the least.
Who were the IndyCar drivers that was at the corkscrew that in the 90s? I can't remember who it was that had something similar. And,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know their names, but I think I've seen the clip.
It was oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. He's I mean, they're both incredible drivers, but the one that pulled the move is like an all-timer.
Yeah.
Someone in chat correct me and tell me who it is.
By the way, I think Adam's probably not going to be so happy about that one. And as you mentioned, did lose another position and is immediately also under attack from Robbie Toddy behind. These are two solid midfield drivers, and it looks like Vincent's got a yellow flag. Vincent into the sand and around on the track. We're going to take that one back. About 15 seconds. See what happened. Running over wide there. It looks like on the exit.
Too much throttle. Too much throttle.
Oh, KB Smith out wide. I think Curtis Adams is going to get one of those positions back. Yep, and Robbie going to go for it? No, sensible.
Adams certainly would not have wanted another one of those.
They're pretty feisty 9 minutes into the race. Like, he moves into the corkscrew.
Mike Gino has caught up to Whites-Carver.
I've got that.
And Gino with the fastest lap of the race at 23.4.
Last lap was 3/10 faster as well.
He heard me.
Back to back. Wow, yeah.
I think he heard me. I think he heard me.
Mike Gino said Diego was talking about me. Okay.
Yeah. He said, "Shut the hell up, Diego."
Ooh, catches too much of that curb. Oh, but the Mercedes. So good on the curbs, even on those giant sausages.
Oh, and more sausage.
I think Adams just disconnected.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, yep, yellow and dropping positions.
Yeah, just saw the picture, and picture just drove straight off the track and through the tire barrier there for a second.
That is bizarre.
I think he's still driving on my street. I guess.
But it must have been a pink spike, because you look at that, he just drove straight on through. The server looks like he was through the tire barrier. This is live. I am not having connection issues right now.
That is bizarre.
I guess, I don't know, his screen turned off.
Jess Osborne just lost 2 positions. Let's take that back. Oh, must have went wide on the exit there. Didn't go back quite far enough.
Oh, that's a move.
Ooh, very brave from Morrison.
Yeah, that's a wow. This T-Force rubbers are quite feisty, man. They're doing moves. Golly.
Diego, we weren't kidding when I said they bring the ruckus. They do not hold back. This division is incredible.
They are sending it. It's not. We're probably 10 minutes in, man.
Yeah.
Golly.
Moonshire and Osborne were now in victory formation, if you will, for their standards. You know, right, one behind the other. They're going to try and play nice, and they're going to try and capitalize on the moves that both of them are bringing to the table. I just saw Robbie Totti. Looks like they got overtaken by KB Smith. I'm going to take that back.
Yeah, we have it on both screens. But yeah, you go ahead and roll that back. It was a very clean pass by KB Smith.
Right up the inside. I can't lose the breaking point there either. But I know it's back looking at the fight between P1 and P2, Whitescarver did do a 10th faster than Gino last lap, so trying to hold on to that base, and it looks like Totti is right past KB Smith again, who looks like they got some lousy drive
we'll roll that
out
one
of the
back.
previous corner.
Oh, just touched it.
Yep.
Oh, I just picked up on Ryan Barker right as I spun it out of the corkscrew.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Take that back on the bottom cam, and you can see the exact moment where everything goes wrong. It's a little bit light on the power, and around they go.
That's a weird one, especially in the BMW.
Yeah, it looked fine.
I guess, no, I guess the running. Oh, there he goes again.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think that's one of those, at least go into the pits to cool the tires down, if not take tires at this point.
Yeah, the tires are good.
Boonstra and Osborne have swapped positions. I don't know if that was on purpose. That was on purpose.
Yeah, Barker is in the pits now.
Yeah, I think Selena has really good pace compared to just right now.
Yeah, she's been on a mission to move up.
I mean, yeah, hang on. What was the qualifying against Selena? I mean, I saw in the opening lap she moved up to 12th, and you said it was
Selena.
Now she's in 6th.
She is up 9 positions.
Ludicrous stuff. Flo's gone around. Take that back here.
Gina?
Entry turn 3 and just loses it on power. Has to go wide.
Yeah, and had to snap.
You can't get back on the power of the stand. You gotta be patient. Oh.
Yeah, Mike Gino and Whitescar were just bouncing back. Oh, and Gino, I think, caught some sand on the exit there, and yeah, I almost wonder with the smaller field if one of them maybe thinks an earlier pit might be better, but at this point, you maybe have to go long because you didn't either go early or you go late.
It is incredibly surprising to see this field this spread out this early in the race.
This is the closest we have is the teammates.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case pretty much for all divisions. I don't think people are gonna battle it out too much. I think they're just gonna run through strategies, and if they do have to battle, they'll do it.
So, but Riley Barker is the fastest lap of the race right now at a 1:23.3, 700s faster than Gino's lap.
That's a good lap. Let's look at the. Didn't? Oh, nope. Did take tires. They had a 37 or 35 second time stop, so Riley would have taken tires.
Well, it looks like their last lap was a 2:47.9, which I assume was the in lap.
That probably would have been the out lap.
Or it could have been the out lap, but either way, that best lap was run before that.
Oh, it was?
If that's the case, right?
I think you're right. Unless Riley's pitted again? No, just one pit. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm gonna take on the helicam here as they're going across the line, and I wonder what time this is gonna be, because the last one was their out lap. Then this should be, well, that's a 1:31.4. Something weird is going on with Barker. I'll keep my eye on it.
So the 1:31's the out lap. The one before was the end lap. So that 23.3 came somewhere between. That's a good lap.
In the words of Marvin Gaye, what's going on? What's going on?
What's going on? No, that's Division 4 for you. I think the closest action we have right now is Christian Lorenzo is closed up to the back Vincent ahead. Looks like Vincent on an invalid lap right now will have there's about a second and a half slower than what Lorenzo is putting up, so most likely just some sort of error that closed that gap. Felker and Smith closing up to the back of Toddy ahead, and Matt Harold has spun it out on turn 8 with the leader coming up and will return to the pits.
Oh, no, you hate to see that. One thing to mention with the Lorenzo catching up with Vincent, Lorenzo has pitted, so Vincent, if Lorenzo cruises up the back, probably won't fight that for long. Yeah, now we have closed up some gaps. Boonster on Matt Morrison. Bit of a train forming up behind Robbie Toddy with KB Smith and Felker.
I'm going to stay on board with Boonster here, who seems to be the source of most of the action so far this race. But I do want to make a quick comment. You know, Austin White's driver right now in the best shape he's looked to be in all season in any race that we personally have spectated. I know he's already got one race under his belt.
You cursed him!
No!
Gino's
No
gonna
way.
be through! Yeah, he's through!
You're
Gino's
joking! Through. You're absolutely kidding me! I was just about to say he just needs to keep it clean. No way! What happens? Oh, he hit the sausage.
He hit the sausage.
Austin, no!
Oh, yeah, the commentator Chris is real.
And what's this? Toddy has lost 2 positions. I'm gonna take that back now. What just happened here? On the same corner,
thing?
hits the sausage curve.
Same
it goes
thing.
What in the world? It's not me. It's not me. It's that corner. Something's happened to that corner.
Yeah,
okay?
it's totally not us.
Totally not us. Not my fault.
The sausages are looking too nice or something. I don't know. Maybe
I told you that, you know, don't touch the sausage curve. I did say it's a different spot. All right, I said turn 6, don't touch the sausage curve. But turn 4 also do not hit the sausage curve. Pro tip.
Man, I think we're further proving we're Mike and Gino's good luck charm.
Well, we'll wait and see.
There's a lot of race left. Austin is not out of this race by any means.
No.
Yeah, we're keeping it on here with Selena, who I can almost assure you, by the way, make aggressive postures here against Morrison. See if you can pull your teammate up alongside you. I mean, 1.2 seconds back is a bit far to try and get a major benefit from a battle ahead, but for the sake of your teammate, try to make it happen. And Selena is a very, how do you say, threatening presence on front.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I assume Selena drives with a knife between her teeth because she is attack at all times, and it's amazing to watch.
Mind you, if you guys forgot, you people forgot in the audience, she's driving on a controller.
Yes, no, yes, always worth bringing up.
Yeah, I
point that out.
I can hear
Felker,
her
yellow
inputs.
flag from Felker. Oh, a spin and a bump from behind afterwards, maybe. It's gonna be sausage again. Yep, sausage onto the sand and spin and well done by Robbie Toddy to avoid that.
Ooh, okay, so Booster gets past Morrison as Morrison dips into the pits now.
Okay, I was rolling that back 15 seconds, and you answered the question I was about to ask.
You're very welcome.
Morrison. Okay, yeah, Morrison in the pits. Kevin Smith, Osborne. Yep. People moving up.
On with Lorenzo now, still trying to get past Vincent. Who I believe they're not on the same race right now.
No, they are not.
So it looks like we might be in the mid-race portion of this race.
Matthew Harold had to pit twice.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Yeah, that he retired now.
Man, that's truly unfortunate.
We were talking about the team standings, and GRR really could have used that.
Yeah.
Which sucks because this is a race with 17 people, so I mean, it would have been good points.
Honestly, Matthew, if you're still watching, if you're still in the server, get back out there and finish the race. P17 is not bad points.
Well, I think this still counts as finishing the race as long as they're in the server when the race
no,
ends.
No, you have to finish a certain amount of laps.
The percentage, right? Certain percentage.
So you need to get back out now and make it happen. P17 has to still be around the 40-ish some points, I think. That's not a bad haul.
No, it's not. I think P18 is 37 points. Oh my goodness, Vincent just went right through the gravel.
Lorenzo slices right through.
Larson's gonna get through. Oh my goodness, Vincent! That's a massive moment. We're gonna take that back just to see all that went on there. So through the corkscrew, you can see braking a little bit too late potentially through the runoff there and the gravel. And of course, you don't wanna get in front of the cars trying to overtake him. Then takes it for a little Tokyo drift type slide, but keeps the point in the right direction.
Honestly, all things considered, well held. Well held.
Morrison versus Lorenzo now. This is a
White's car with a yellow flag. No, Austin! No! No, the sausage!
Oh, he just...
Turn 6.
Oh, and then he spins off the sand. No!
Oh, he got into... He met Barriard. He met Barriard. Not today, Austin. Quite today.
So many positions lost, but still has their mandatory pit. The silver lining there is Morrison's actually getting past Lorenzo here. Leading up to... Oh, that's close. Oh, that's close. But they stick it up the inside. Heading up towards turn 6 now. I don't know about this one, Chief. Has the inside line, going to force him around onto the curb a little bit, and now might need to defend this one in towards the corkscrew. But I think they've got it.
I looked over at race control, and the delta between both of them was 0.0 for a decent stretch. Fantastic driving.
So there's an interesting thing going on at the moment. So Riley Barker's right behind Jack Sullivan, and Barker seems to be faster, but the thing is, I mean, Jack doesn't have to move because he's ahead. But
do you let him? You probably do.
I mean, at this point, because you don't want to have to be following another car. Plus, if you get past a blue flag but you don't pull the gap within one lap, you are legally obligated to move over and let them by. You cannot defend that either.
Exactly, and we know that Barker has taken tires, but Sullivan has no way of knowing that.
So if you're Sullivan right now, I would fully be just
holding on to it, absolutely. Unless you're maybe keeping an eye on the gap and it came down really quickly, you maybe were aware of that. But yeah, if I'm Sullivan, I'm not letting Barker go. But yeah.
If it was me, I think taking everything in consideration, I would rather let Barker through just for the sake of not risking an accident. Yeah. Just let him go. Because they're currently running 2 different races.
Yeah.
So but that would be me.
Yeah. It's also one of those things if you're Sullivan, if you ever have to take a defensive line, then it's not worth it, in my opinion. Oh no, who's that? Was that Felker? Ron Flo. Oh.
That's another Merc.
Yeah. Oh, too much sausage. I never thought I'd say that in my life. Too much sausage.
Oh my goodness.
Close to the pit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're right at the pit entry, you just took presumably a large amount of damage. You might as well do.
Barrier and the sausage today, or tonight, I mean.
You know what's been ridiculous about it, though, is we've seen so many accidents like that where the driver hits a sausage curb and then, sure, your car's a little bit unsettled, but it seems like they just can't get it back because of the sand runoff.
Yeah.
If there was asphalt runoff, or if there was, gravel runoff there, it seems like they'd be able to keep it under control, even grass. But it's the sand that it just has absolutely nothing to give you.
I think it's also trying to mitigate the loss and maybe getting back on the throttle too early, but it is super easy. I would be lying if I said that I hadn't lost it in those corners in similar situations. It's just so easy to do around here.
Dropped, hit the sausage at turn 4. Went a little bit wide there. Just a little bit of time lost, thankfully, no damage, but goodness gracious.
Yeah, hit the sausage. That's my breakfast every morning, am I right?
Actually, the Sullivan and Barker situation just got a little bit more interesting. Fisher is catching up to Sullivan.
Oh, that does make it way more interesting.
So, I think the move here is gonna be just leave Barker behind.
Yeah.
Well,
I would leave Barker there. I agree.
but the thing is, I mean, no, but he doesn't have to move since he doesn't have a blue flag.
Yeah.
Sorry, but Barker does have the blue
I know
flag.
he does have a blue flag.
So yeah,
he'll
he'll have to let
Yeah.
Lorenzo by. Yep, good call.
So he needs to let him through.
He has a lap. Yeah, but Lorenzo fell back.
Yep, that's Fisher, by the way.
Oh, Fisher.
Yeah, Fisher.
They have the same car. Yes.
No, I know. When we were watching the battle earlier, I was pretty confused. I mean, as long as there's a reason. Oh
Yeah, there we go. Barker's letting him through.
Yep, well done. Good call.
Was Lorenzo on Morrison there? You just caught that one. Very nice capitalization on that small mistake. I feel like it's going to be a battle that we're seeing more and more, especially with Morrison being in the BMW. I anticipate he's going to be a little bit stronger in the late race than the McLaren.
Jess Osborne has cruised up back to the rear of Selena Booster.
They're sitting in 4th, 5th right now because of the Austin Whitescarver incident, if you will.
And actually, that Porsche group, so Selena and Jess, they're not that far behind from Barker and Fisher, so it seems they're gonna be catching up to those two.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on that
Yeah,
Barker Sullivan fight.
What's the maybe lap difference with height 24's there? The last lap for Barker was 27. That's not representative. So yeah, it's. Go ahead.
Oh, it looks like Barker did allow Fisher to go through.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, on the main straight.
Diego, I don't know if you have an eye on chat, but Eduardo Rodriguez says, "I love you."
Oh,
To you.
I love you too, buddy.
To you and only you.
Oh wait, what?
Well,
Hey man.
In Eduardo's defense, we did shit talk him that one time on accident
Oh,
for not showing up.
there we go then.
We shit talked him on accident while his new wheelbase was sitting in customs. We were like, "Why is Eduardo here?" And he was like, and he called me and I was like, "My wheelbase is in customs." I was like, "Oh no."
Don't worry, my conglomerate, the head of my conglomerate's in chat, and I don't think he's ever said anything nice about me, so that's fine. Shout out to Bailey. Shout out Benny Brew. Yep.
So wait, can I kick you from chat?
Come on now.
You definitely said no.
Plug. Come on now.
So Diego, our we gotta say this really quiet. Our thing on here is when the D4 drivers bring up coffee, we kick them the fuck out of the stream. We don't let them talk about it.
Yeah, you can't say that word. You can't say that word.
It was our first one.
I don't think that's actually true.
That's absolutely not true. We absolutely have said it before. There's no way we have it.
No, the 12 hours we were having a Bailey just said dab instead of like saying anything. Actually halfway supportive, by the way. He just said dab in the chat.
He just said.
All I'm saying is don't be surprised if I'm with a different conglomerate next season. All right?
Fisher's pitting. Fisher's in the pits.
Yeah, Fisher's spitting.
Man, we have such a Morrison and Lorenzo. That's the closest battle we have going.
Yeah, that's why I've stopped kind of focusing on the race.
There's not a we don't have. I think as everyone starts pitting, we'll see some gaps form up, like closer gaps form up. But for now, yeah.
Let's take a look here. Let's talk about the whole story of the race so far. So obviously the big one, Whitescarver, out of the lead, once again unable to convert a pole position into a race win, which is that's painful. I mean, Whitescarver.
Hey, the race isn't over. The race isn't over.
Whoa,
Morrison on Lorenzo! Whoa!
That looks like
that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nice old switchback.
That was a big old dive, I believe.
Yeah, Lawrence.
Take that back so we can get a
Lawrence
better look at it.
Yeah, Morrison went deep and Lorenzo just took it right back.
Oh yeah, Morrison was late on the brakes there.
Is that an in-game livery? That looks like an in-game livery, the red one. That is so pretty.
Yeah, I think mine unfortunately is not synced up for some reason.
So that has to be a custom then. That's amazing.
No, yeah, it is a
Very
custom.
good livery,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
It is a custom.
I love it. Do we want to talk about movers and shakers? We're halfway through.
That's exactly where I was going up until that move happened. So like I
Okay.
said, White Carver,
Yeah.
it's been an amazing race for Sullivan, still sitting in second place right now with a 5-second gap behind KB Smith, Robbie Toddy, Curtis Adams, Felker, all with great performances so far. Although it's worth noting that Felker right now is actually dipping into the pits as we speak, and so we'll probably come out a little bit farther down the field. The same could be said for Curtis Adams. But, I mean, to stay up there, surely, I mean, Adams had that one disconnect moment earlier on, but sticking in the race, making some decent progress through the field, at the very least.
I think the biggest mover tonight has been Selena.
Yep.
She's in B3 at the moment.
Up 12.
Pretty in B3.
Up 12. That's... I mean... Considering a 17-driver field to be up 12 positions is mighty.
Yeah, and especially at this track, which is our first track for being really hard to overtake at.
Yeah. Though again, I mean, worth noting that this is before a lot of pit stops come through, so it's kind of difficult to tell exactly where
Everyone
are.
is.
Yep. KB Smith into the pits.
Yeah, I think the people coming in right now, they may be the ones that are doing the tire switch strategy.
Yep.
Maybe.
I'm going to keep an eye on time stopped. And Matthew Harold, gotta shout him out. He must have been listening. He went back in on track. Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome for you.
I want me those points, yep.
Yeah, get them points. Get them points.
He's only 6 laps behind the leader, so will almost fully.
You got to get them points though. It's totally worth it. And at worst, you just lap around for another 40 minutes on a pretty nice track. Wow.
Yeah, you don't even have to be fast.
No.
Frankly, I mean, you could just take a Sunday stroll, throw on a podcast for God's sake. Just don't get in the way of the blue flags.
So I'm looking at the Jack Sullivan Rally Barker situation again. So Barker is really close to Sullivan. So Barker definitely has the pace, but it's just a matter of getting through. Or getting, because Sullivan has to stop, right? If I recall, no, he hasn't.
Yeah.
So I guess Barker can just chill out. Maybe.
Yeah. So KB Smith did not take
dear.
tires. Oh, Matthew.
Oh, yeah, that was Harold. That was Harold.
no.
That was Harold. Smith I think that was a blue flag. Smith just let, that looks like Gino.
I wonder if Harold was. Oh, yeah, I think Harold was trying to pull over to let people by.
Well, like we said, I mean, if you got to get out of the way, if you're that far down already on laps, you're not going to pick up a position more likely than not, so you might as well just do.
Yeah. See, this is our closest battle.
So 2 drivers who have already made their stop as well, so this could easily be a battle for a podium position if things go well for them. Look at the gap to leader. Gap to leader is about so gap to leader from Selena Boucher right now in 3rd place, 21 seconds versus Lorenzo, 55 seconds.
So we're expecting about 30, so yeah, that's not too far off.
Good take on board here with Flo, who just had a yellow flag. I believe that's a lot of damage. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Oh,
Perpendicular meeting with none other than Barriar.
Barriar, the man of the hour.
Yeah, big damage there.
Now we have Fisher starting to hound Cockcroft.
Sorry, so White Scrubber has fulfilled their mandatory pit, no?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, he has.
Could still skip ahead of Curtis Adams in the pit stop, and maybe it's possible. It's possible. Okay, I'm just saying.
Get back
White
up to
Scrubber could still
P5?
finish in the top 5.
Yeah.
Could still finish in the top 5 with a little bit of luck.
Yeah, I don't think it would be too much luck. I think it would just be some good lap times.
Yeah, because Adams is currently turn 2 or turn 1, whatever you want to call it. And White Scarf is currently coming out he's at the last corner, so I mean, it is looking good in that regard.
Well, I'm looking at the gap to leader and the pit delta, which looks like 36 seconds for what I'm assuming was just the 1 liter of fuel. Time stop was 7 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, depending, I mean, if some drivers opt for tires still on the top 6 here, which I find highly doubtful considering we're 5 minutes past the halfway mark now. I think White Scarf just got to keep head down right now.
Yeah, I don't know if the tire strategy is gonna be viable anymore because it's a little bit too late now.
White Scarver is, except for Lorenzo ahead, and Mike Gino and P1 much quicker than everyone else ahead. So, maybe not even a podium is out of the question for White Scarver. It would be a lot of doing, but I don't think it's out of the question. Matt Morrison with the yellow flag.
Let's take a look, see what happens here.
I've got it. Gonna be too much on the... Yep, sausage.
Guess what it was? None other than the sausage. Who would have guessed?
Not the worst spin you can have. It wasn't too violent. Probably didn't put too much heat through the tires, so...
And that is one of the bigger concerns, is when you have a spin, it's like, all right, I lost some time, but you're going to lose a lot more time through the following corners if you can't get those tires back under control.
Yep, exactly.
So, an update on the Barker Sullivan situation. So, Barker caught up to Sean Benson, and that's for position.
Ooh.
So,
yeah, it looks like this switchback's going to be good. Oh, yeah, that switchback's going to be good, but now they have to fight into T last here. They're just about going to have it. Spaces of 40. They're going to way out going off
yeah,
the gravel.
That's a hard place to overtake.
I'll take that back, actually, and get a second look there. You can see spaces of 40 on the inside, but they're not quite at the apex, and you can see as a result, I think Barker maybe overcompensates, expect to be run out a bit wider.
Fisher is all over Pat Cockcroft. Don't do it, Scott. Ooh, good call.
I think he just started smoking.
A little narrow from Cockcroft there.
There's a slight moment there. Got it back under control, though. I mean, with that Porsche, if you, like we said all throughout the season, you know, that's the one thing to keep in mind, is if you get that Porsche out of shape, it can really get out of shape, so well held.
Ooh, little drifterino there. Yep.
Oh yeah,
here we go.
He's getting
here we go.
Oh, I think he got him.
What an exit.
He's got him. Yep, he's got him.
Parker's already up behind the back of Vincent. Less than 5/10 now. Great exit from the corkscrew.
Man, Fisher, what an exit out of the last corner.
Yeah, that was a move and a half.
Yeah, well done. Saw the moment, seized it.
So Riley Barker, he's still stuck behind John Vincent.
That's what you have on the picture-in-picture. We'll stay on this battle.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to.
Whoa, who's that off on the side? Matthew Harrell.
That was Matthew Harrell.
Oh, I think he was letting them through, maybe.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, I really thought Barker was going to commit for that for a second. And you could see a bit of an unforced error there.
Oh, yep.
The 40,
yeah, he's not
4-1, yeah.
That'll be Barker through.
He's still having a bit of a sniff for it, but has to let off now. A little bit of a wobble as well. Should see that one secure.
And the thing is, he lost so much time from that because, I mean, he was pretty much, on Jack Sullivan's bumper, and now he's like 4 seconds behind, give or take, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry, it's Vince Barker to Sullivan. Gap is 2.3. Yeah.
2.3. Yeah, so we definitely lost time from that.
Oh, Cockcroft wide in the last corner. Yeah, we don't really. Yeah, Vincent just really fell off the back there. So yeah, Cockcroft and Fisher's the closest battle we have right now.
Yeah, we just got to keep an eye on the pit stops now. White's Carver, I'll note, last lap of 127.85. A clear and obvious mistake made there for a driver who right now cannot afford to have many errors.
No, that's a killer. It's a little bit of a killer.
Gap to P2, or excuse me, P3 right now is about 40 seconds and some change, like 45-ish seconds. And the pit delta does not quite accommodate for that, but the pit exit does lose a second or two for the driver. So an optimal stop, about 36 seconds, plus a couple of seconds, maybe for pit entry, pit exit, and you're looking at just about even with Selena right now. So if you can just get the, oh no, I see a yellow marker.
Oh, that's marker.
Ooh. You gonna run that back? Yep.
I'll get it rolled back here. Looks like a spin on their own.
Sausage.
Get through the infield. All onto the sand. Okay,
Oh,
kept it under
but
control.
Don't do it again. Don't do it again. No, just a little too wide.
Oh, and then try to get on the power on the sand. You gotta keep it just point forward on the sand. You can't.
It's just so easy to do.
That's such a shame. Gino's in the pits, by the way. Mike Gino in the pits.
Mike Gino is in the pits. Let's see where.
Probably come out just a little bit in front of Adams if they're stopped now.
This seems a little odd to come in this early.
It does.
He's gonna come out in traffic.
Yeah, didn't take tires. He just took the fuel.
He maybe saw that he could come out between Toddy and Abs, and he's going to. Okay, that you know what? You know what? That works. That works well. But then you have to rely on Robbie Toddy to let you by, you know, if you catch up. And yeah, that seems a weird time to pit for me, for the leader.
Oh, Mike Gino got a drive-through.
Oh no!
He's got a drive-through.
It's all on the board now.
Oh!
These catapults Sullivan into a spot where they could win. I mean, Selena's only 3.7 seconds behind. This just tears everything wide open.
This is anyone's race now.
White's Carver is going to finish ahead of Gino at this rate.
Oh my goodness, this is anyone's race now. Unbelievable. Oh, you hate to see that for Gino, that was having a fantastic race.
These things do happen. But again, I mean, for Boonstra and Osborne, currently leading the team standings, they are delighted to see this now. That's a promotion for both of them.
So they're
wonderful news for them.
Yeah, they're looking at another double podium. That's incredible.
Now all the push on Sullivan.
And then Gino comes in to serve it right away. Probably the right call. Oh, man. The only saving grace is this is a pretty short pit lane, but
no, it's such a bummer.
Yeah, from looking at P1 to maybe a top 5, we'll see where he comes out in relation to White's Carver. I think that'll be telling.
Looks like Adams and Lorenzo will be just ahead. Morrison behind. We have Morrison coming in towards Andretti right about now on the entry there. So yeah, there's a little bit of space behind.
So Lorenzo is our leader of the drivers that have pitted. And
the gap to leader is 34 seconds.
Lorenzo's not that far off.
I mean, if it's a 36-second stop on optimum, wait, let me check here.
28 is the one leader
26.
time, but I think it's so easy to. That is the optimum time, so like, you know, the fast is the fast, but the exit and how tight it is and how twisty it is, I don't think anyone's going to be really close to that time.
So I'm just looking at the pace from Sullivan and Selena. So Sullivan just crossed the line and he did a 25.3, and Selena did a 24.9.
That's a good lap.
So that's the pace that where is my guy? That's what Lorenzo did last lap at 24.9. So he definitely has been laying down the laps.
Yeah, and Lorenzo is just about exactly 30 seconds behind Selena. So yeah. So Gino's still not out of this for a podium. Possibly the win, but it's going to take some passing and some moves now.
Now the issue with Lorenzo at the moment is that he's behind Adams, which he has not pitted. The thing is, Lorenzo doesn't want to be stuck behind Adams.
No,
by any means. So he better be looking very menacing. Yep.
Yeah,
he heard my words.
Yeah, if Lorenzo is peeping the times and saying, I can win this race. Not just the silver, I can win this race.
So look, Boonstra, I can almost guarantee you that Boonstra's probably pushing harder now. You know, she might have been racing a little bit more relaxed, you know, knowing where her position was. Actually, she just lost a lot of time. I'm not sure what happened there. I think it might have been an ACC race control thing. It looks like it's kind of fixed itself now.
Yeah, she did a 25. That was the last lap.
There goes
Adams.
Adams
in the pits. That's huge for Fisher.
That's a huge help to Lorenzo. Yeah, Lorenzo.
The same thing you did. All that time ago.
Yeah, but Mike Juno, I mean, he's right there. Gosh, he's
got to be careful, though. I mean, you can go on a warpath, sure, after a mistake, but that makes you all the more vulnerable if you're pushing that little bit too hard. I mean, this is a track that we've seen time and again has punished drivers getting very, very slightly too aggressive. Gino was he majorly benefited from one of those instances when White Scarver went out wide.
Yeah, but I mean, Gino that car just looks fast. The way he's driving, the way he's pushing it just looks fast.
He is definitely looking menacing behind Lorenzo at the moment.
Toddy's up 1 second behind Osborne now as well. So that's what I'm kind of keeping my eye out on.
No, he's lurking. He's definitely lurking now.
I mean, because Toddy's also in this conversation for a podium.
Yeah, because just had a slow lap by the looks of it. He did a 25.9. Looking at Sullivan's space as well, he just did a 25.1.
Smith and Cockcroft still going at it as well. I know you were following that one not so long ago. It's heating up. I think that Sullivan right now has got to be under a reasonable amount of pressure. White Scarver last lap, 0.2 faster than the race leader. He's 50 seconds behind right now, so with a 26-second pit, White Scarver is not necessarily in the greatest of positions, but this could still be an amazing recovery drive for him.
Yeah, I agree, and just creeping further and further up, and it's it's just the top 4 that haven't pitted at this point. So
yeah, and I think they really have to be thinking about pitting soon, because I mean, if they don't do it soon, they're gonna be coming out in the gist of it. So
yeah, it's one of those things where do you want to pit early and then have to fight for the last few laps, or you want to maybe stretch it and see if you can pull the gap further, but you also take the risk of the gap shrinking. So it's a tough call. But then again, with the temperatures we have here, tire warm-up's not going to be an issue. They're going to come right back up, but they're going to be so worn. Everyone's going to be in a bad shape with the tires regardless. So
definitely.
I mean, a bad pit stop too. I mean, we're not even considering this. We're considering everything optimal. I mean, if you have a slightly bad pit stop, if somebody else got a drive-through penalty at this stage in the race,
it makes it even more interesting.
Barker, Flo, both right up behind Vincent in the rear, which I believe Flo is actually a lap down on Barker. So KB Smith gets past Cockcroft, I see. I'll go ahead and take that on the replay so we can get a look at that. I was just staying on board. Oh, it looks like Cockcroft went by the last corner.
Yep.
We've seen that one before. So no particular surprises down there.
Yeah, and again, that's just such an easy thing to do is brake just a little bit too late into that corner. Yep, it just takes the optimal line right through. Well done.
That body's still close to Jess.
Yeah, this is those are the two battles. So I'll go to Toddy and Osborne. You can keep the picture-in-picture as is.
Gino, yep. Lorenzo's just keeping it solid. I mean, Gino's a couple of times where he gets a slightly better run. But Lorenzo, for the most part, has been looking good. This might be the opportunity. Lorenzo's going to have to take this one defensive. Gino!
Oh, no!
Somehow threw that one out wide. Lorenzo is able to keep it clean. Wow, I can't even imagine trying to go for the outside overtake there. That was such a small gap.
Yeah, I guess he just didn't know where to go. Because that was a little bit weird, to be honest.
You don't want to dive up the inside because you can't cut back to the inside that rapidly. Gino knew there wasn't enough time to make that move over and still make the braking zone, so probably to try to go outside, at which point Lorenzo returned a little bit to the racing line. I don't believe that was an intentional block. It was only a very slight motion, but Gino had realistically very little space to work with and probably thought that Lorenzo was going to stay on the inside and was a little bit caught off guard if I had to take a guess. Either way, an interesting scenario.
Oh, run, Flo.
Flo just had a big crash.
It was Vincent Barker and Flo all going into the corkscrew, and Ron Flo had a big oversteer and lost it on the entry.
Oh, yeah. Managed to avoid the other car, though.
There might have been a netcode tap there. I'm not sure. That looked a little odd. No. Mike Gino on Lorenzo.
Oh.
Part 2.
He's going to try again on the outside, maybe.
Oh, Robbie Toddy with the stop. Oh, no!
It's kicking up. It's all kicking up.
Oh, Lorenzo went way off.
Taking the bonnet cam here for Gino. See the POV. And
just.
Oh,
no.
That's a huge one.
Yeah, the stewards are gonna have fun with that one.
Yeah, just a tiny misjudgment, but that's a...
I think what looked to me was going to happen was Gino wanted to wait until the car in front brakes and then go to the inside and slam the brakes and make that move, which would have been on if Gino had correctly judged it, but I think it's pretty obvious that was not what happened.
And Lorenzo has tons of damage on the front of that car. That is so unfortunate. That's 2 races in a row for Lorenzo.
So Selena's in the pits, by the way. So
was Osborne.
We saw, actually, it was Toddy went into the pits as well.
And got stopped in 30.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Talks about how this race could still shake up.
The last minute just popped off. So that's Boomster coming out of the pits.
I will say, I usually don't like to make judgments on incidents.
Oh, this is going to be close on exit.
I think, Selena's
got it. Wow.
I think we can put some confidence that Gino's going to be receiving a penalty for that.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So now he's going to have that on the back of his mind. We talked about this. I talked about this. You let yourself get a little bit too aggressive. You know, you made a mistake earlier on, and it sucked, and you're trying to make back up for it. You let yourself get a little bit too aggressive. And I think that's what happened there. And Lorenzo...
Ooh. Yep, a little bit tough from Osborne there, but no harm, no foul.
I got Smith up against Adams for 9th place
Sullivan
right now.
in the pits. Sullivan is in the pits, but should come out easily in the lead.
You say easily.
Well, and at this point, hopefully there's not a stop and go 30-yard drive to involved.
I think you are right, though. It should be at least 3-4 seconds. Oh, I don't know. Toddy's got a yellow flag. Toddy's round. I'll take that back. It's like on pit exit, actually. So after serving the stop and go 30, and just into the sand.
Sullivan is
he's
very much ahead. Yep.
Yeah, he's very much ahead.
Almost 4.5 seconds.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, and that should be... Yep, everyone has done their pit requirements, so we're good to the end.
Gino's back in the first
So yep, this is the battle now. Gino and Boonstra, and then looks like you have, I believe you have Lorenzo and White's car in the picture.
I'm surprised. Gino's back into third place after serving a drive-through penalty.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, he would have had this easy.
And I don't think is gonna be able to do much about Selena given the damage she has at the front. So there's that, plus, you know, the tires that they barely have now.
Oh, I mean, you speak of damage, I think Lorenzo just dropped back significantly from White's car here. Ran a 1:28.6 last lap, which I believe was before the contact with Mike. Yeah, because Mike Gino's last lap was a 1:25 flat. I think Lorenzo just has too much front damage, but can't come into the pits to make the repair, so now he's looking behind to Fisher.
So, something to mention that we haven't mentioned, Sullivan, a silver driver.
Oh yeah?
Race.
He is indeed a silver driver, currently in the lead, and looking good for the win.
I mean, we have...
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Yeah, we have 3 silver drivers in the top 7. It's incredible.
It's been an interesting story.
No, this for only 17 cars. Oh, here goes Gino.
Oh, he sent it. He absolutely sent it.
Yep, you're always gonna have that though on the inside as soon as you have the overlap.
I can't think of a single driver who'd be able to take that outside line and still stay ahead. Wow. They were massively ahead into the corner.
No, and Gino's going to need that if you factor in the penalty. He's got to make hay. He's got to pull seconds on everyone behind.
Yellow flag for Osborne a moment ago. I think might just run a little bit wide. It's still pointing the right direction.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Yeah, invalidated the lap, but everything seems okay.
Yeah, it looks like Sausage exit turn 6 goes wide. Puts it on the road.
Yeah, all things considered, that's not the worst result for hitting that curb.
Ooh, KB Smith and Curtis. Oh no! Oh no! This better not be what I think it is. I just saw a yellow flag for Adams and Smith. I'm still on the replay though, and they're both off the track. Oh my goodness! We'll take it back again here. So you on your screen right now, turn 6, leading up towards the corkscrew was a legendary run there for Smith on Adams and into the braking zone of the corkscrew. Looks like the incident. Oh no!
That's a big one.
I don't know about that one. I feel like you can see Smith is letting Adams back onto the circuit, or the other way around, excuse me. Smith could have continued on driving. I think that might have been a racing incident, though. I'm not sure if Smith would have been penalized for that.
I'm sorry, it's getting real spicy between Selena and my... Oh, the sunset strikes again.
That's Selena through easily.
No! She got a hell of a run. She's doing it. She's definitely sending it. Yeah, there she goes.
Oh, Mike, pull out of it.
There she goes.
Oh, he stayed in it.
Stick it. Stick it. If you stick it, you have it, Selena. If you stick it, you have it. Oh my goodness gracious.
Fantastic. Oh, man.
Oh my god.
That was unbelievable.
Replay. I mean, this looked like it was going to be contact for sure from the bonnet cam, but somehow...
Wow. That's fantastic driving by both drivers.
Oh my god.
I mean, Selena clattered that curb, held it. Gino, I don't know if he saw it or just got lucky by coming back to the inside, but that was awesome.
just to remind you people watching from home or wherever you're watching from, she's driving on a control.
This is also for the gold win. Well, provisional gold win. I do wonder if, well, there's no way Selena's probably aware of that. Oh, who's that?
That's Parker looking
right. I accidentally clicked the 30-second replay instead of the 15, so it'll be a little bit later in your picture here, but it's coming up. Riley's had a really lousy outing so far on race day. Yeah, I mean, qualified fairly well. This was a driver that I had high expectations for coming into this, but
yeah,
has had some incidents, and this is going to number.
Oh, the same thing Weiss Carver did earlier, just went wide and just spun it there on the outside.
Smith and Adams right now, the ones I'm keeping an eye on here on the final lap of the race, as Sullivan looks to be taking home the victory.
Wait, the race is over?
It is
over. It's been an hour?
It's comfy
with the W.
Celebratory dive.
Attaboy!
Selena P2, Becky P3, Matt Merson P4.
Oh, if we can't get Sullivan in the booth, I'm going to be upset.
Jess Osborne P5, White Scarper P6.
Wait, Osborne P... Oh, excuse me. I thought there was just some weirdness going on with race control. But Lorenzo P7.
7.
That has got to be the most bittersweet finish that we'll see for
We're going to have a close one here between these three.
And right at the end.
Oh, Cockruff took the inside too much.
Wow.
Gonna hold it, though.
How did he get a decent
I have no idea.
What the heck?
I have no idea. That was incredible. I've never seen someone cut the inside that hard before.
And get a decent exit.
Yeah.
That was wow.
I think it's because he carried the speed. He didn't need the exit necessarily as much because he was able to carry the speed through the inside.
Right.
Still got Robbie Totti and Vincent out on track. So we'll
world was this race?
Yeah, that was
for 17 drivers in it.
Yeah, 17 people.
What did I say before this race started, Diego?
Yep.
They bring the ruckus.
They definitely did that. For sure.
Wow.
Mike Gino on the podium, though, after everything that happened with him, I have to say, I am impressed.
It's T4. Y'all gotta chill. Like, after the race in 2 weeks, y'all gotta chill. Take a couple weeks off and chill. You guys are too much.
Sullivan's got to be over the moon right now.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, for sure.
Silver driver, qualified third, I believe, and then takes the dub, the overall dub. Fantastic drive.
Well, yeah, and some, let's say, good fortune as well. You know, I don't want to detract from the win. That's part of car racing.
Yeah, that's part of racing.
You just get a little bit lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's in the D3 D4 chat. Let's not
pull him and get him in here.
Yeah,
Mr. Sullivan, we wanted to waste no time bringing you in. You got you got the win. Congratulations,
Mister.
I did not see that one coming. I gotta admit there.
I would say not many people probably did. But when did it sink in for you at first? When, like, at which point did you think, like, oh my god, this might actually happen? Was it when you exited the pit lane and realized you were still in the lead?
Probably about a lap after Gino got his stop and go. I realized that it was him who got the stop and go, and I realized that I actually had a chance potentially. And then when I came out of the pits, I don't know if you noticed, but I missed my pit box, and so I was worried that Selena was going to be right on my ass. But then I came out and actually gained time in the pits somehow, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna do this!"
Wow!
And that was a little terrifying.
We totally missed that. We clocked you pitting, and then we clocked the gap. But yeah, we did not have eyes on you missing your box. So yeah, we would have been going nuts.
Yeah, it wasn't a big miss, but it was enough to where I had like that 2 or 3 second where they're lifting you up and moving you.
Yeah, because for some reason they just cannot move to your car. You have to.
Yeah, I think it'd be harder for them to move than for the car.
Yeah,
you have to be at a certain spot. Like, oh no, we cannot go to the car and switch the tires. You have to.
What the Italian?
Because kudos, being dumb.
Oh no!
God, like, come on! Like in our racing, you can, you just go, stop. They lift your car, but in this game, I mean, like, just how, like, to what happened to Jack, I mean, you just missed your pit stop a little bit. Oh no, we cannot lift the car, and we cannot do that. You have to stop. Exactly.
All right.
Diego's gonna get the whole D4 stream canceled.
Yeah, the very first time out on the broadcast, and we're over here. Anyway, Jack, I mean, P3 qualifying, we realized, I think that we were a little bit surprised to see that you had the fastest pace of the silver drivers in qualifying because of how strong Lorenzo was on the last outing. But we did note that your hot laps were looking fairly impressive for this week. Did you put in any particular extra practice, or did the track just kind of come to you?
So I'm actually on Christmas PTO this week, so I've put in probably about 50 to 60 laps more than I have been the rest of the season. And something about today, I don't know how, but I dropped a 10th off of my PB in qualifying and somehow stuck it on P3.
It'll just click at the right time.
Exactly.
That's a good feeling. Well, I mean, with one round left here, there's not really going to be a whole lot more movement in the standings. But do you think this bodes well potentially for last round up in the mountain, or potentially next season, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, we'll find out. I gotta say the mountain has not been kind to me in the past, so we'll see how I fare there.
Right. Well, that's it for me, really. So Diego, Adam, you guys got anything to add, or?
I mean, congratulations on your win. It was definitely a really solid win. I mean, a dub is a dub, so enjoy it, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, fantastic drive. Well earned.
Very much appreciated.
Yep.
Anytime.
We'll toss you on out here, and we'll see about picking up somebody else. There is, a couple other drivers in there.
P2 was our P2 Selena.
P2 was indeed Selena, so
yeah, well,
we could pull her. I'm looking at as well. Barker, I kind of want to talk to get their view of that race. Gino as well. I kind of want to talk to Mike about the incident.
Yeah.
Not only the stop and go, but then also the bump of Lorenzo. I kind of want to talk to Lorenzo, but I'll leave it up to you. I feel like I'm always the one who's picking.
I think let's go Boomster. Let's just. I mean, that is our gold winner, not our overall winner as we're used to seeing, but our gold winner.
Yeah, let's get her in. So, Selena. Welcome back into the commentary booth. Another P2 finish. You somehow managed to evade the #1 spot. Again, how... I mean, you had an astounding race, no doubt. Starting from 15th on the grid. I mean, third from last in a 17-car race. And you ended 7 seconds behind the leader in P2. Tell us about it.
Oh, man, what could I say? Oh, man, the adrenaline. Oh, well, I didn't have much hopes at the start, but I tried to it anyway, nonetheless, because all I was just thinking was just like, well, I mean, P15, I mean, it's an hour-long race. It's Laguna Seca. Anything can happen. Drive-thrus can happen. All that shenanigans. And I tried keeping as best pace as much as I could, and it pretty well worked out. Tires were dropping off like close to the end, but yeah, just staying clean, consistent with the time, and yes, that's
clean and consistent, eh?
Yeah.
You think I forgot about that move you pulled on Curtis Adams at the corkscrew? Clean and consistent Selena Boostra. You think I forgot about that moment when you took it over the sausage curb at turn 9 against Gino and almost wiped him out? Tell me about clean and consistent Selena.
Yeah, aside from that part, but yeah, I was trying so hard to avoid him, and I'm like, every time I always go like on the inside trying to avoid, but that never works. So I gotta rewire my brain to go on the outside if I brake a little bit too late.
No, you don't need to do any of that. Where would be the fun for us if you weren't out there on the grid? Is all I'm saying. No, but I mean, aside from those two, of course, I mean, you almost hit Mike, but you didn't. So in all reality, I think that one's still kind of clean. But I did look at that move against Adams, and it might have been a little bit dicey. But you both kept it on the road, and you made the move happen, which is more than I could say for a lot of drivers this race. I mean, it felt like there was some on-track overtaking, but I mean, you were surely the star of the show with the moves. So thank you for delivering with the aggression there.
You're welcome. I try.
I mean, we can't forget. I mean, obviously you want that overall win, but you got the gold win.
Yeah,
it's a win in my book.
Wait, I didn't even realize that. Really?
Yeah, Sullivan's silver driver.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah,
well, that's great news.
But then also, I mean, you and Jess have just absolutely taken a stranglehold in the team championship. It was 180 some points going into tonight, and then a P2 and a P5 overall. I mean, that's you guys are just killing it. I wonder if it's clinched maybe at this point.
It may be clinched.
Yeah, take a quick look here, and I don't think it is.
I don't think we get those calculations on the SRA website that quickly.
Yeah, no, because I'm looking at it and it hasn't updated.
It's still the same. I do wonder if you guys maybe clinched. I wouldn't pop the champagne just yet, but I would keep it on ice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for sure.
Do you want to bring Jess in and we can maybe talk about that? The team championship?
Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and bring him on in. Because I just want to talk to my boss all the time.
God. Yeah, he only popped in earlier today.
Behave.
Yep. No swear words. Jess, welcome in. We thought we'd drag you on in here. We were talking to Selena about the P2 finish and the gold win, but the team standings looks like it is a pretty sizable forecast for a lunar win here. So I mean, it's been an amazing season for both of you. Consistent performances. I mean, you had the win last race. Selena on the podium this go around in a P5 for you. I mean, what does this whole thing mean for you in the long run? And did you expect this at the start of the season?
Definitely wasn't expecting this consistent of a top end performance. Yeah, Selena 3-time back-to-back silver, me with a win and a third place this season. Yeah, we're putting together everything we need for both the team championship, Shui, and maybe if we're lucky, drivers. Selena and I are within 3 points of each other on that. As long as we can hold Austin off, we're good to go. I'm just feeling good about it. I feel almost getting cocky.
Okay.
Okay. You know what?
He's speaking big words.
It's happening. I'm calling it right now.
He's speaking big words, gentlemen.
You know what? I can't ooh that when I just said I think they should have the champagne on ice for the team championship.
Oh, that's for the team.
But no, the drivers. I mean, yeah. Oh my God! If you guys took the team and won 2 in the drivers, that would be. You can't have a better season. That's incredible. You guys, I think I said it early in the stream. You guys went from team consistent to team consistent podium. You guys have just been driving so incredibly well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
we've been putting in the work.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking here at the driver standings, and I will say, look, I don't mean to be a downer, but I do think that unless Gino does not appear at the next race, you're probably not going to have too great of a shot at a 1-2. Before the drop here, he's got 570 points in comparison to... What?
He might have Christmas plans. He might have. We have 2.
Calm down.
Well, we have 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks off, so yeah.
No, I think he doesn't even have to show up because he's got 31 points on his current drop race. So if he shows up at 0, we have to get. I have to get a race win with a full grid, like full points, 111 points.
That's what I was saying. He basically needs to not show up because right now, if you factor in the drop race. He's got about 17 points more than you from the drop race, and for you, Selena, it's 10 points. So at this point in time, it is possible to take a 1-2 in the drivers, but you need pretty much a 1-2 in the next race, and for Mike to not show up at all, or DNF.
Also, mind you, So a Bathurst is not really a Porsche track. It's definitely a Merc track, like
yeah.
by a lot, by
Unfortunately,
a
yeah.
lot. So
No, that's only if you keep it out of the wall. It's
That's
no cars
true.
track
Yeah,
if they
yeah.
crash.
that's true.
True.
That's true.
That's
Right,
all I'm saying.
exactly.
I'm really looking forward to it. I unfortunately wasn't
Oh.
able to participate in the endurance race that we just had. So now all the practice
Unfortunate
I
is-
had is going to be put to this.
I don't know if it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I was about to say, unfortunate is not the word I would use to describe that. I made the joke earlier on the broadcast, but we were not racing in Australia. We were racing in Atlantis, all right?
Yeah,
so
we were.
that first, and the lap 1 incident was... That was gold. That was,
Oh my
that was quite good. But
Unprecedented.
That was special.
I'm so glad I was not in the seat for that one.
If the video of that crash isn't the opener for next season, I'm gonna be so upset.
I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna rage if it's not.
Ew, I don't want to be showcasing that.
No.
Sweep it under the rug.
All right, well, that's a
SRA
conversation
dirty
for a
laundry
different
right
time.
there.
Yeah. Well, in any case, you guys look like you're pretty much a shoo-in for the team standings, and you might have the 2-3 for the drivers, unless
Yes.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's
Yeah, Austin's
motor
still in
racing.
it. He's with
Still
the
a hell of
Eagles.
a season. Still a hell of a season, though. There's no
Yeah.
denying that.
Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
easily my
level with you.
best.
Gonna level with you. Austin's consistency.
Oh, for him, it's karma. He was smug earlier today.
He was.
He was?
He was
He-
a little
he did
smug
say?
earlier.
He did say he wanted to show out because I was going to commentate, and well, I mean, I guess he showed out the wrong way.
So I-
He showed off by surfing over the sausage curb.
So-
Yeah.
It didn't really work out for him.
So I guess the question is this Diego's fault?
Oh, no, come on.
Here it is.
Yeah, no, don't.
End of the show. We'll see you guys next
Blammo!
time.
Come on now.
Goodbye.
Come on now.
Right. Well, before we continue ranting on too long here, there are some other people we'd like to take a talk with. I know, I understand. But do you guys have any last words you want to throw out before we let you go?
Shout out Comic Racing, best in the biz.
Yes.
That wasn't a coffee brand.
That's a
Wait
cap.
minute.
I couldn't
Anyways.
do it twice in a row.
Yeah, I already did it once. I'm not doing it again.
Well,
I had my share.
that's
Alright,
a little
well-
disappointing. So I guess go away.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you later.
Good race,
Thanks,
guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. I'm gonna quick pull Scott Fisher in
Yep.
real fast. Fisher, you here? Ah, this is bad news.
Oh, no.
I don't like this.
Did we kill Scott Fisher?
Well, let's just wait and see if he comes back because he's not muted in Discord. I wanted to get some thoughts because specifically, while we're in the post show here, we got all the time in the world. Talk about how Fisher Lorenzo Motorsport. We talk about the team standings, and sure, it looks like Lunar Motorsports Comic Racing has got it locked down, but Lorenzo Fisher, before the drop race, is at 844 points in second place ahead of Ghost Rider Racing. And on this race, it was Gino in third place, bringing home the lion's share of points for Ghost Rider Racing. Matt Harrell did finish in 17th, did finish the race, importantly, but it was Scott Fisher and Christian Lorenzo in 8th and 7th place, respectively. So still a very solid turnout for them, and it begs the question on whether or not there will be a battle here in the team standings between Lorenzo Fisher and Ghost Rider Racing.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, Fisher and Lorenzo, they've been so good this season, and I think they both have the talent to bring it at Bathurst, and they're probably in the better car than the Porsche, but, with the BOP, that evens things up, obviously, a little bit, but yeah, it'll be interesting, and we don't have anyone else to pull in. Everyone else has left us.
Yeah, that's why I wanted
What
to.
do they do?
I wanted to.
I mean,
Mr. Fisher, come back.
I mean, did you blame them after doing
Well,
that race?
you know what?
At Laguna
I mean, there was a
Seca?
lot to review. Everyone else
Yeah.
is still in their review chats right now. Everyone else is doing race review. And we're out here. We just had a barn burner of a race at Laguna Seca, and they're all gone. So I don't know what to say.
You know what? I don't blame them. It's a work night. If you're on the East Coast, it's 11
true.
p.m.
Yeah, it's
That
11
was-
PM already.
You're probably that's not an easy track to race at. It's nonstop. It's short, and yeah, it's
Well,
The
I mean,
funny-
something Something else we didn't mention as well. I mean, you talk about the track being difficult to race. We saw the lap times go down, actually. I mean, as the fuel burns off, you usually expect the lap times, the lap times went up. And as the fuel burns off, you usually expect to go down. But I think it was, the tire deg, as you mentioned, Diego, is reasonably high. And the temperatures just keep going up and up and up because you don't have a chance to cool them down. Everybody, I can guarantee you, is running their brake ducts pretty much at maximum on this track. So I feel like that may have been a contributing factor there.
Yeah, because normally at some tracks, I mean, for example, at Bathurst, I mean, that's one track where the tire wear isn't that heavy, and also, so say there's like in the middle of the stint, that's where you start losing a little bit of time. But when you're down to say like 30, 35 liters, 40 liters, something like that, that's when the lap time starts to come back to you, like even like matching the lap times you were doing at the start. So that definitely isn't the case here at Laguna Seca, and especially, oh well, there he goes. Fisher.
I wonder if he
did not want to talk.
I was about to say maybe he went to AFK, but he did.
Yep.
07.
But yeah, but definitely not the case here at Laguna Seca, especially with the tire wear and the temperature. I mean, it was definitely a really tough race in that regard.
Right, well, before we start to close out here, I want to give a big thank you to our affiliates, of course. Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. You can use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, of course, a toolbox for Assetto Corsa Competizione that will enhance your chance to win. You can enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. And the Go setups, premium esports setups for everyone. Use our affiliate link on Discord and take your drive to the next level. I especially want to shout those guys out because they've been providing my setups pretty much for the whole season. But as we kind of round out here, round 7 it was at Laguna Seca. Even with only 17 cars on the grid, I wager that this is probably one of the most exciting races that we've had all season long, despite, a couple of gaps being formed in the middle of the race that seemed a little bit insurmountable. But with all the shakeups that happened, we saw a driver take a win who has not taken a win yet this season. So huge shout out again to Sullivan for taking that win. Lots of exciting action. Selena, I think, with one of the best drives that we might have seen.
For sure.
Full stop.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm supremely impressed with the performance tonight.
Definitely.
100%. Up that many positions at an incredibly hard track to overtake at it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And Sullivan as well. You always love to see a silver driver take the overall win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's going to do it for us, I think. All I can say is, great show. Diego, it was really nice having you on for tonight.
Yes, it was a pleasure, gentlemen.
Yeah, it really was. I think we had an awesome show. If you guys liked it, we appreciate the support. And yeah, I guess all that's left to say is we'll see you. Of course, the Sim Racing Alliance has more races going on tomorrow. You'll find us live here. Well, you don't find us, but you'll find the channel live here tomorrow around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And the same will be said for the Twitch channel as well. So if you want to see some more racing, then you can find some more racing there. But for us, that's going to be it until, I believe, January the 3rd of next year. So
last race of the season.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Mount Panorama for round 8. A couple of loose ends need to be tied up, but that's going to round it out for us here for this year. So we wish you happy holidays, happy new year, the whole 9 yards, and we will see you next time.
Ho, ho, ho. See ya.
Ho, ho.